think I like the way Siddharth introduced the topic today. Yes, India today is really the fourth largest economy today. If you look at in terms of GDP growth, we are the fastest growing large economy. And I want to give an example from the COVID times. If you all remember, it was early in 2020 when COVID struck the world. And at that time, India was actually had a lockdown, which was according to a study by Oxford. Since we're in Oxford, Oxford had a stringency index, which showed that India had the most stringent lockdown. And everybody here, especially the global press, was so critical about India. That India, and you had so many images of people going to the villages, with all their bags on their head and packed, etc., etc. So it was a challenging time. And India actually came out and did solutions which were unique to India. And what were those solutions? For instance, we spent as a extra spending because of the COVID, we only spent 1.5% of our GDP. The rest of the world and a lot of the developed countries spent 10 to 20% of GDP to relieve their citizens. So many people thought that India is going to actually collapse. Instead of this, what else did India do? India saw to it that 800 million people got free grains in their household month on month. And this could be only possible because of all the digitization that was done in India, whether it is, I'll talk about that later, but yes, just see to it that everybody, the right person got it at the right time. So there were 800 million people who were there. Besides that, I think India actually accelerated the vaccination, first of all, the development and manufacture, and the distribution. We could distribute during that time 2.2 billion vaccines, which no other country or continents have done. And each one had an individual identity of what was the app on your phone. So there was each one, you could only get one vaccine, but everybody had to be vaccinated almost. That was one thing. All the pharmaceuticals industries also stood up. Every available drug which was needed was given to India. Moreover, you'll be happy at a time when the rest of the world and the most developed countries of the world were not allowing any export of either pharmaceuticals or even products like packaging products for pharmaceuticals. That was banned. India exported medicine to the world. We gave vaccines to 300 million vaccines to the world. So all this was done, which means what? That the infrastructure that India had built has become pretty strong. And that's one of the reasons. I'll come to the digital public infrastructure. That has been one of the biggest successes of India. We started what is known as the JAM. JAM stands for Jain Hindi Jan Aadhaar, means it is almost 550 million new bank accounts were opened. Till now, it was not a financially inclusive society, but 550 million bank accounts were opened, where some transfers of money were also done, so the right recipient got it. Secondly, Aadhaar is the unique identity each one has. If I'm not mistaken, about 1.2 billion people have got a identity. And JAM is again the mobile. In India, we have today 1.2 billion mobile connections. Almost 700 million are smartphones, And I can say that without exaggeration, that the network that we have connectivity is probably better than many of the most advanced countries. And all this at a cost which is ridiculous. The cost of 1 gigabyte of data in India is 10 cents. And the phone is actually free, virtually. So this is the other thing, the digital thing. Third is, of course, the demographic. Dividend is there. India is the youngest, largest economy. Our median age is 29. Our working population is the highest. And I can go on and on, but yeah, I'll stop there. But there's lots more.
Now, this is fascinating, right? I mean, in that COVID story that you just spoke about, that Seva Bhav shines so sharply, where India was, giving to the world while it, or serving the world while it was also, grappling with the problem itself. If I can ask you to do some crystal ball gazing now, as you think about the next 20, 25 years for India, what is going to drive and keep this phenomenal journey continuing at that path that it's on right now?
I think what is going to drive is there are lots of new opportunities. And I think many of you are here. I would ask you to really look at it. The amount of investments that are going in tech. How could India have the most successful payment system, which again is free? We made 18 billion transactions in the unified payment system last year. So these are large opportunities which have been done by India for India and actually for the world. Besides that, I think there's a lot more happening, whether it's the whole thing on technology. AI, I can see that there's a lot more happening in the startups in the AI field itself. How we can, again, find newer ways of doing things better. Besides that, manufacturing, which is today about 17% of our total GDP, India is pushing to make it 25%. I don't know if that'll happen. It's a challenge, frankly. But yes, again, it is the manufacturing across, whether it is the latest in EV, whether it is in semiconductors, aerospace. I think you had a session on aerospace in the morning, whether it is on defense, plus electronics. These are the areas which are newer areas which are also growing. Second thing is, I think, again, in agriculture also there's a lot of scope for India to become the granary of the world. In terms of production of agriculture, I think today we are the second largest in the world. And yet our productivity is not where it should be. We can do much more. We are the largest producers of rice today. We're in the world. We're the largest producers of sugar. We are the largest producers of millets in the world, the second largest in wheat. So there are lots of opportunities available there as well. The service sector is, again, I see another trend with the sort of talent that India has, and we are peace-loving people, and you've seen our diaspora. There are so many of you here and all over the world. I think they can form a really high quality resource for businesses and for other areas without any peace-loving. You don't find that in other countries. So all this just makes me just that much more optimistic about the future of India. And also the fact that we must also appreciate in the last 10 years, 270 million Indians have been moved out of poverty. So that is again the largest that has happened in the world. So these are things that give you hope that India will be there. We will definitely become the third largest in some time. I think in the next few years.